What happens when the most profitable version of Black visibility is the version that makes Black people easier to blame? I want you to sit with that question because I think we sometimes have a very narrow understanding of internal racism. We talk about it as though it simply means a Black person doesn't like themselves, doesn't like Black people, or has absorbed the negative stereotypes about Blackness. And yes, that can absolutely be a part of it. But what happens when internalized racism becomes more than a belief? What happens when it becomes a business model? Because there are people who have built entire platforms around telling the world that what is wrong with Black people is because Black people are lazy, Black people don't take accountability, Black women are the problem, Black men are the problem, Black families are dysfunctional, Black culture is holding us back. Black people need to stop talking about racism. And let me be very clear about something. Critiquing problems within the Black community is not inherently internalized racism. We should be able to critique ourselves. We should be able to talk about the misogyny, the colorism, the violence, the classism, the educational inequity, dysfunctional relationships, political disagreements, and all the other issues that exist within our community. I believe accountability is necessary. There's no growth without it. But there is a difference between accountability and racial scapegoating. So the question is again, what framework are you using to explain the problem? Are you examining this behavior within an historical, social, economic, and psychological context? Or are you taking problems that exist within a community and using those problems to explain why the community is disadvantaged in the first place? Because if we're being honest, those are two very different conversations. And here's where I think it gets uncomfortable. There's an audience for this second conversation. There are people who will reward a Black person for saying, see, the problem isn't racism, it's Black people. Because now that Black person becomes their evidence. See, even a Black person said it. Their Blackness gives them credibility to speak about Black people, while their willingness to condemn Black people can make them particularly valuable to audiences that already want to say or hear those things. And that reward can come in many forms. It comes as followers, it comes as media appearances, book deals, speaking opportunities, corporate relationships, political access, money, notoriety. So we're no longer talking only about the psychology. We're talking about incentives. And once someone realizes that criticizing Black people generates more attention than challenging the systems that affect Black people, the platform can start teaching them what to say next. The outrage now becomes engagement. And then that engagement becomes visibility. And then the visibility becomes opportunities for them. And those opportunities just simply reinforce the narrative. So that's when internalized racism can become profitable. And I think that that's a conversation that we need to have because I think sometimes we look like an individual belief is actually being reinforced by an entire ecosystem. So this is just part one of this conversation. In the next part, I want us to talk about the rewards that this system offers, becoming the exceptional